Taxes are one of the main sources of income in Cities Skylines II. So what would happen if I actually set all of them to 0%? Am I going to end up with one of the most prolific cities in the world, or is it going to be a complete flop? That's what we're going to find out today. So I'm starting by creating my city, which I proudly name Zero Tax City, and making sure to select the Coral Riches map. I'll explain later why this specific map is necessary for this challenge. Once the game starts, since I'm at milestone 0, can't modify my city's tax policies yet. To do that, I need to reach milestone 1. And the only way to earn XP is to develop my city. But I can't do that without breaking the rules of the challenge, because by default, there's a 10% tax on all district types. And that is a hard no. I didn't write this magnificent name just to betray it right from the start. But luckily, building zones isn't the only way to earn experience. You also get it by setting up infrastructure, like wind turbines, for example. And honestly, this has a double advantage that is just perfect for my situation. Since wind turbines generate electricity, and I have absolutely no use for it right now, I can connect them via a transformer to the global grid. This allows me to sell it back to neighboring cities, which, on top of giving me XP, also makes me a ton of cash. And that's exactly why I selected this specific map. It has enough airflow to run my wind turbines at their full potential. I've barely finished installing all of this, and I've already hit milestone 1. This finally allows me to, first things first, obviously, drop residential, commercial, and industrial taxes to 0%. Yeah. That's the whole point. So now, after dropping a few more extra wind turbines to boost my monthly income, I can move on to urban planning. For now, I promise you it's just 2 big grids, one for factories and a bigger one for the residential suburbs and commercial zones, both connected to the main artery by simple little roads. Don't worry, it's only temporary. As the city grows, the road network will change quite a few times to adapt to it. Anyway, I've barely finished building all of this, and there are already buildings going up. It doesn't surprise me that people are moving in this fast, especially with a tax rate this low. Except, first problem. Residents are demanding a sewage system and running water. But that's not a problem. Even if it's going to cost me money to build this infrastructure and maintain it, it's really no trouble at all. My pleasure. So, I place a sewage outlet and a freshwater pump, connect them to the city grid, and I jack up the price my citizens pay for it to 135%. Oh yeah, it's not a tax, I'm just increasing the price I sell to them for. And that's all. I mean, what are they gonna do? They can't buy from anyone else but me. What? A monopoly? Never heard of that word. Plus, luckily, I'm still a nice guy. I could have raised it to 150% if I wanted to, but I am super nice, so I'm sticking to my initial decision. I am increasing the electricity price, though. Simple formality. Anyway, while I was organizing this municipal racket, my city kept growing. Little American houses are building up to form beautiful suburban neighborhoods. Businesses and industries are seeing their turnover skyrocket thanks to my 0% tax policy. The birds are singing, the city is peaceful, and best of all, there isn't a single ambulance siren. But why? Because I haven't built a clinic yet. Simple as that. Maintaining it costs money, and I just can't afford it. What do you think is going to happen to my city? That I'll go into the red, sacrificing my economic health just to prioritize my citizens' health? They can wait a bit. It's not like someone is going to die in the next few minutes. Oh, he's dead. Anyway, milestone 2. Unfortunately, at this level, I haven't unlocked any new ways to get rich. Still, I can appreciate this beautiful bar chart with the green bar bigger than the red bar. That means I'm in the positive, and I intend to keep it that way for as long as possible. But even with my city's near perfect fiscal conditions, I have a small problem. The factories in the industrial district don't have enough workers. I suspect 2 probable causes. First, a bad ratio of residents to job vacancies, meaning there aren't enough citizens, so I zone more residential areas. The second probable cause I analyzed is that the workers living in the residential district are struggling to commute to the industrial district, so I invest in an extra road that overpasses the main artery to make their commute easier. I just hit milestone 3! I'm taking advantage of the 75,000 I just received as a level up reward to expand the residential district. And my strategy seems to be working. The unemployment rate dropped from about 7% to 3%, even though my population almost doubled. That is just massive. I'm taking this opportunity to celebrate by building about 10 more wind turbines. This will allow me to increase my electricity exports to neighboring cities even more, or so I think, because I just got hit by the harsh reality of grid voltage limits on cables. In fact, the mistake is easy to avoid. It's written right here that there is a transmission limit of 80 kilowatts on electric cables. To my knowledge, the only cables that can connect to wind turbines. This limits me to, you guessed it, an 80 kilowatt export, while my production is at 118 kilowatts. I am literally throwing thousands of dollars into the wind. This caused me to go into the red, my worst nightmare. So I tear down the surplus turbines, having lost way too much money in the process, money that could have been invested in something more useful. Oh, but it's fine. In the meantime, I reached milestone 4, and it's precisely at this rank that I unlock a new way to make money. I now have access to this interface that lets me manage city policies, and especially this, taxi fare fees. Basically, every taxi entering or leaving my city has to pay. And of course, I'm setting this to the max. So even though I'm still running a deficit in the roads category, it still reduces my losses. But let's not forget one thing. The more taxis enter my city, the more money I make. At the same time, I also unlock signature commercial districts. So I dropped the taxes to 0% before building a few of them. It's great to see so many businesses developing. But you know what's less cool? My citizens' happiness. They are terribly lacking entertainment. Their lives literally boil down to waking up, getting in the car, working, getting back in the car to go home, and sleeping. They are stuck in the rat race. They have absolutely nothing for entertainment, which is why I'm building them 2 beautiful parks. Try and bring some joy into their gloomy lives. Except I forgot one thing. I don't have infinite money, and each park costs me $400 a month. That is way too much. So I'm destroying them. There you go. That was completely useless. But you know what's not useless? Reaching milestone 5. This unlocks one of the best ways to make money since the start of this challenge, the district creation tool. After properly gridding my entire city, it allows me to put a parking fee on every single car that parks in my city. It is honestly one of the best ways to make money. Just do the math. I don't have access to the exact number of cars in my city, but assuming children are included in the unemployment percentage, which, by the way, is totally stupid, but that's not the point. We have roughly 4,992 workers. And since there is literally no public transport between the residential and industrial districts, meaning the majority of jobs are over there, they are forced to own a car. Finally, subtracting the workers who walk to work, who are a minority of residents, even if that doesn't mean that they don't own a car, we reach $250,000. It literally quintuples my income. So right now, it's perfect. I'm profitable in every sector except one, water. I have a deficit of over $6,000 on it, which is huge. And that's due to one reason. There aren't enough consumers, or rather, not enough actual consumption. And it's not the residential areas that need it the most. The industrial districts are the biggest consumers. So logically, I decide to expand my industrial district. Except I can't buy new tiles. For every tile I buy, I'm forced to pay a monthly maintenance fee. And once I buy one, I'm stuck with it. I can't sell it back. That's why I decided to do some land reclamation. It just consists of stealing space from the water. And just like that, I almost double the size of the industrial district. After that, to pass the time, I finally decide to build a cemetery. They are finally going to be able to get rid of the old lady who died at the beginning of the video. This costs me way too much money, $27,000. But it's not a big deal because it also allowed me to see that I'm finally profitable on water by a little over $300. It's not much, and it doesn't replace the $27K for the cemetery, but it's a start. I also decide to add a few roads to try and fluidify the traffic. But even after all that, my citizens aren't as happy as they could be. Their misery is caused not only by the fact that there is only one police station in my city, leading to a super high crime rate, but there's also unreliable medical coverage. So I decided to take matters into my own hands by building a clinic. It cost me $21,000 a month, but unlike the police force, which can never be profitable, this clinic could eventually become profitable in the future as more patients come in. Anyway, milestone 6. So, using the money I earned while staying AFK as well as the level up reward, I build an elementary school. Just like the medical clinic, it burns a hole of about $40,000 in my budget, but it will be profitable in the long run. After that, to try and bring down the high crime rate, I build a police station. But I also buy 2 new plots of land to expand my residential district, where I obviously apply all the fees to make a max amount of cash. For now, my city is growing well, and above all, it's profitable. That's the most important thing. Even if the residents aren't the happiest due to the lack of quality public services, the fact that taxes are at 0% really saves the day. And actually, happiness is one of the most important stats of our city. Without high happiness, residents leave, and no new residents want to come. And who can blame them? No one wants to move to a city where they'll be miserable. That's all well and good. But as for me, I'm hitting milestone 7. I get a $175,000 reward, which will allow allowed me to buy new plots of land, 6 in total, for the modest sum of $242,000. But this time, they won't just be used to build new districts. Since one of them touches the edge of the map, I'll be able to connect the city sewage to the outside connection to, kind of like electricity, buy water and delegate sewage treatment to other cities. This allows me to destroy my pump and my dirty water outlet. And as you can guess, if I did this, it's obviously because it allowed my profits to skyrocket to $55,000 a month. I'm not going to complain about that. After that, as planned, I build a new district, which, by the way, is absolutely massive. Out of pure charity, I install a new clinic there. Even though I'm still not profitable in the medical category, I have faith in the steady growth of my population, and therefore, the number of people who will need care. Also, something I hadn't mentioned, when I leveled up, I received a free chemical plant. Now, I don't really know what it's used for, but one thing is for sure. I'm going to drop it in my industrial district and see what happens. Anyway, meanwhile, my beautiful city continues to develop. Even though in some places you can see houses on fire because there are no firefighters, it's really not that big of a deal. They'll end up burning out on their own eventually. But you know what is a problem? I'm in the negative. I've looked everywhere for something to delete or optimize, but I can't find anything. Can't delete the school infrastructure. They'll be profitable in the long run. Even less so for the medical infrastructure. They are on the verge of becoming profitable. And as for anything related to the police, I'll avoid deleting that. Crime rate is already ultra high, so that would only drop my citizens' happiness further. The only thing I can do is wait. And wait I did. Until I reached milestone 8. I was rewarded with a little over $200,000. Enough to replenish the coffers and keep me from going broke. But what's even better, I just unlocked a new way to to help my citizens by building a new subway system in the city to connect the different districts more efficiently. First, I use my milestone points to unlock trains, trams, and finally the subway. Then, after destroying a small part of the industrial district, I build a subway depot. As the name suggests, this is where the subways and their cars will be stored. Except, I don't have any money left to build the rest of the track system. So, I take out a $250,000 loan. I assume that'll be enough to finish the work. So, I keep going by building a subway station near the residential area. Then another one to serve the industrial district. I connect them both with a bit of struggle using tracks. And finally, my favorite part, set the parking fees to $50, the max. And the ticket prices to $50 as well. And it looks great on paper. You're probably thinking I'm gonna make a ton of money. Everyone is gonna love taking my subway and pay this tiny price with a big smile. Except reality is much harsher. Nobody is taking my beautiful subway. There are already roads for people going to work in the industrial district. Why would they bother paying this price? That's why I'm making a decision that I might, perhaps, regret. I'm destroying all the roads connecting the two districts. If they want to go to work, it's a $50 minimum per person. You're going to love my subway. Like, who do they think they are? I took out a loan for this, endangered the economic health of my city, and they spit on it like ungrateful brats? They are going to see just how perfect my city is. Sure, I'm running a deficit for now. But what are they gonna do anyway? Stop going to work and eventually starve to death? Is that it? They are forced to pay. So I stay AFK for a while, just to let my dear residents get used to their new favorite way of traveling. But nothing works. I'm still losing money. It's only when I get down to around $67,000 in cash reserves that I make the second most important decision in the history of this city. I take out the biggest loan possible, $2,650,000. Plenty to finance the insane project I have in mind, connecting all the districts of this magnificent city using only subways, thereby making their cars absolutely obsolete to force them, in a strategic way, to pay the honest price for the finest subway service in the country. I installed one, then two, then a new subway depot because the one I built is overbooked, and finally a third line. That makes 4 in total. I'm very good at math. 4 routes to travel freely to the 4 corners of my city. For now, the network isn't profitable, but I have the hope, what am I saying? The conviction that I will be profitable. And what are they gonna do? Leave my city? Oh, that's exactly what they're doing. They are leaving my city in droves. Well, you know what? I'm gonna destroy the highway. No one leaves this city without paying a heavy price. Now that there are no more roads connecting me to the outside, I need another way to bring residents into my city. So, I buy 4 new tiles to build a train station and connect it to the outside network. And of course, I set the price to the max. This means even if they leave, they have to give me cash. And that's exactly what I want, to be profitable. Because right now, every single low public service, even with exorbitant rates, is losing me money. Yet, I don't understand. Before starting this challenge, I did a ton of research on how to fully optimize a city. This is supposed to work. There's no reason it shouldn't. All the jobs in my city are starting to become vacant, and even the crime rate is literally exploding. I had everything it took, though. Well, you get the point. Even if at the beginning everything was globally going well, I failed this challenge. I still hope you enjoyed this video. I'll say it again, but don't hesitate to subscribe. I have plenty of concepts in the same style that I might actually succeed at, so it'd be a shame to miss out. Take care, and thanks for watching.